The arrival of the British in India is a complex and multifaceted historical process that evolved over centuries, involving economic, political, social, and cultural factors. To understand the full context, we need to explore events starting from the early contacts between the British and India to the establishment of British colonial rule. Here's a detailed account of how and why the British came to India. Early contacts, pre-1600 CE. Before the British arrived, there were intermittent contacts between India and various European powers, including the Portuguese, Dutch, French, and British. The Portuguese were the first to establish a presence in India in the early 16th century, mainly for trade purposes. They set up trading posts along the western coast of India, primarily focusing on spices and luxury goods. The British East India Company and early trade, 1600 to 1700. The British entered the scene with the formation of the British East India Company in 1600, during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. The company was granted a royal charter, giving it a monopoly over English trade with the East Indies, Southeast Asia, and the Indian subcontinent. Initially, the British East India Company's focus was on trade, particularly spices, textiles, and other valuable goods. They established trading posts and factories along the Indian coastline, including Surat, Madras, Chennai, and Calcutta, Kolkata. Over time, the company expanded its trading operations and built relationships with local Indian rulers and merchants. Competition with other European powers, 1700 to 1757. During the 18th century, the British East India Company faced competition from other European powers, particularly the French. The French East India Company had also established trading posts and forts along the Indian coast. The rivalry between the British and the French led to a series of conflicts and wars, including the Carnatic Wars and the 7 Years' War, Battle of Plassey, 1757, and territorial ambitions. The turning point in the British East India Company's presence in India came with the Battle of Plassey in 1757. During this battle, the company's forces, led by Robert Clive, defeated the Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dowlah. This victory gave the British control over Bengal, one of the wealthiest provinces in India. The British East India Company, with its military might and the desire for territorial control, gradually expanded its influence in India. They adopted the strategy of using